COVID-19 has been a time of immense challenge, immense loss and immense grief for all of us, but it has also been a time of great innovation and great solidarity, where as a country, as individuals, as groups and as organisations, we came together in very innovative ways to make sure that no one person was left behind. This video gives a short snapshot of some of the examples of real innovation that happened in services around the country to support older people.
Now I've a daughter of my own.
COVID Care Concerts was an initiative dreamt up by Gerald Peregrine, and the idea was to bring high quality classical music to those most affected during the pandemic. It was funded by Creative Ireland and Age Friendly Ireland and ran right through to February 2022. I remember one particular concert where a lady who was visiting her mother in the nursing home approached us and asked if the musicians would sing a song for her mother, who was extremely unwell and unable to attend the concert. So when the concert was over, the musicians, all four of them, approached her door, her window, and they performed directly to her and her family. And that was particularly special. And we were all in floods of tears.
As you will know, staying healthy as you get older is very important, and that was more pronounced in COVID than it ever was. And here in Sligo, we ran a virtual cooking programme with Eiling, which incorporated over 55 people cooking through Zoom. So it was very nutritious, quick, easy meals, and it was also about not having to go out and stockpile your cupboard with things you're never going to use again. It was about looking at what you have and using what you have to utilise a nutritious, healthy meal. And also cooking maybe for 2 days. But the big thing as well was that people actually were connected and could see each other. And I suppose the negative was you couldn't taste the food, but people would describe the smells, they would describe the flavour. Sometimes people might eat before the end of the programme, if you want to call it a programme. But it was very enjoyable and people gained a lot. And also they have sustained that and remained friends.
Lovely. Oh, wow.
In CL Blue Ireland, we deliver physical activity programmes to Ireland's older population, those living with physical or intellectual disabilities or chronic diseases. In 2020, we went from working with 6,500 people a week to 0 people as the COVID restrictions came into force. So on the 16th of March, we started delivering programmes online via Facebook and YouTube. And what we found was that it quickly built an online community of people who were joining our sessions at 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. every day. And throughout lockdown and throughout the cocooning period, it was giving people structure on their days. Physical activity for our older person helps people to maintain their strength, their agility, their aerobic endurance, which in turn slows down the ageing process and allows people to maintain their independence and in turn live at home for longer. There were over 800,000 views of our sessions online throughout the lockdown period. So for us moving forward, this will be an integral part of our programme.
We had a very successful Living Well programme face-to-face, and once COVID hit, we quickly realised that we had to convert this programme online. I would say about 50% of our vulnerable adults were not able to get online to get onto our programme, had no technology, no devices and no internet. The programme went online and we decided that we would have a device library for people who didn't have their own devices. We worked with Age Friendly Ireland on a very easy way on getting online to Zoom or WebEx. And then with the support of a device that had a built-in internet and had built-in easy to use features, there was 1 or 2 steps and you're in on a programme, made it very easy for people to get online. This woman had been bedbound for 6 months at this stage due to her illness and was out walking around the front garden because she had the device to be able to get up on a programme that would help her progress with her condition and be able to have a good quality of life and more confidence. And without that device, that woman would still be in bed, would still be very much bedbound because she would never have been able to attend a face-to-face programme.
We were looking at ways to engage older people and people that were cocooning. And one of the ways that we did that in Kildare County Council was to ask people to take one of these notebooks. It was being delivered to their home, to take this notebook and to write down or record their experiences of COVID-19. And our aim for this project was that we would create an archive for the county. So there will be a digital archive of these notebooks for years to come. There's holy medals and newspaper cuttings and receipts, all sorts of things that tell something about a certain time. And I think a notebook is very precious, and it's something, almost an heirloom, a live heirloom, I suppose. So I think there's lots of scope for this to be adapted by lots of different groups all around the country.
As you can see, a fantastic array of initiatives that have been rolled out in partnership with the HSE for older people throughout the pandemic and post-pandemic. Age Friendly Ireland are delighted to be working on this partnership with the HSE, as we have done over the last decade, but particularly on this piece of work, where we have produced a fantastic online repository on the Age Friendly Ireland website, where you can look up and hear more about all these fantastic initiatives and the models that worked, and also a legacy document that we're producing, which is capturing those. But what is important now as we move forward is that we harness those relationships and those projects that have been led out across all the sectors, and that we really look at the meaningful impact they have had and progress them as we move forward. We are delighted that this piece of work has progressed.